And we are not even saying, okay, we will burn down the system. We are just saying, this system is leaking from this particular place, and I'm making a joke on this particular leak. Haha. You say haha, I say haha, go home. That's all. I'm not raising, मैं क्रांति नहीं कर रहा हूँ.
Varun Grover is that multi-hyphenated personality that is so hard to find. He's a lyricist, a screenwriter, a comedian, and a director. He has the comic end of it, the moral anger that makes us all wake up. He's made us laugh, he's made us think, he's given us some of the most wonderful, iconic work, from Masan and Gangs of Wasipur to his directorial debut, All India Rank. He's been playing different roles in so many films that are part of our popular consciousness. But most of all, at a time when it is precarious, when it is difficult to have your voice, and that really is regardless of the political spectrum, he has continued to use his voice the way he wants to do it. And that is through the comic medium, which has become a very precarious one. It's literally like the funeral of the funny right now, but he continues to speak his mind, he continues to make us laugh, and that is a truly heroic action. So ladies and gentlemen, to understand his psyche, his canvas, his motivations, please welcome on stage Varun Grover. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you. Hello.
Thank you for being here, Varun.
Yeah, I just wanted to see how is Gurgaon, like, after the recent. I just didn't expect like it to be this dry and all. I was.
Since you come from the annually flooded Bombay, you all can't poke fun at Gurgaon, you know?
No, but Bombay, I mean, Bombay gets flooded only in like 600 rains, not 40 and we have, I think it's thanks to whatever British, because Bombay was always the monsoon city. I'm just defending Bombay right now. Bombay was always in the middle of so heavy monsoons. The drainage is generally fantastic. Now we have
now I have to cut this weather report conversation.
No, I just wanted to say now we have fucked up the urban planning everywhere in India. So Bombay is not immune to that. So now, yeah, now
right.
we're in the same.
But since you did bring up the floods, it's a nice way actually to enter your work and the courage of your work, which is that on 26 July in 2006, was it 2005? I also have a dramatic story. That's the day I became friends with Amir Khan. I won't put it out in public. But your first television show came on television that day. It was the day of apocalyptic floods in Bombay, and no one saw his show, you know,
yeah,
because there was no electricity.
I have no idea how it went. I mean, that was the first time my name came on TV. My first stand-up comedy, my first sketch comedy came on TV. And the entire city was flooded. I was stuck on Bandra Linking Road in a bus, which was, there was a tree that had fell on that bus. So bus was abandoned, the best BEST bus, the Bombay City bus. And I was hiding in that bus, and the water had entered the bus even. It was like, I was like, okay, maybe I have got my first TV credit, and now I'm going to die in Bandra, the place I want to finally, reach, but I'm dying here. I have not reached. I was in Kandivali at that time. So,
right. I'm glad that there was a follow-on story to that, Varun. So coming to this, like we said, you know, you have made us laugh riotously, but I want to get to the building blocks of that. Comedy always has something deeper. If it is really going to make you laugh, it has something deeper going on inside. So help us understand the chemistry of your comedy. Where did it begin? The origins of it, and then I'll come to how it's evolved.
Okay, so there are two origins. One is I spent a lot of my growing up years in UP, and if you grow up in UP, you have to have a sense of humor. Otherwise, you'll be like constantly depressed, or or I mean in UP you can, like, to deal with this you can be either one of these two people, three people maybe, like get out of UP, what a lot of people do, you know. That's why a lot of there is this obsession with writing IIT or IIM exam or AIMS exams, and you know people want to get out and make a life. Second is be a politician, and then you at least you know कि मेरे घर में जनरेटर चल रहा होगा, बाकी जगह गई बिजली, कोई बात नहीं, मेरा सरकारी सीधे घर में अपना पर्सनल ट्रांसफार्मर होगा मेरा. सो आई विल स्लिप इनटू हिंदी बीच बीच में.
Yes, absolutely.
दैट्स फाइन राइट. हाँ ठीक है, तो वो आपको सबटाइटल डालने पड़ेंगे शायद यूट्यूब पे. पर हाँ, तो यूपी में ये होता है कि प्रॉब्लम वही थी कि उस समय तो बिजली आजकल जैसा हो रहा है ना कि जा रही है, सब बीच बीच में बातें आती हैं कि बिजली उस समय बिजली आती थी बीच बीच में. तो वो बीच बीच में जब आती थी तो वो उससे जो सिस्टम आपको समझ आता था, यू वर लाइक कॉन्स्टेंटली अगेंस्ट द सिस्टम, यू वर कॉन्स्टेंटली ऑन अ डे टू डे बेसिस, यू वर ट्राइंग टू फिगर आउट. While living in Lucknow, I was living in, like, I grew up in Lucknow, which is like the capital. I grew up in one of the posher areas of Lucknow, Gomti Nagar. और वो नया बना था, और वहाँ पे ऐसा नहीं था कि पुराने जनरेटर थे जो हर हफ्ते फूक जाएं, लेकिन फूक जाते थे फिर भी. तो वहाँ पे आपको जो सिस्टम से हर रोज़ का जो एक स्ट्रगल था ना, वो मुझे वहाँ जाके समझ आया कि पॉलिटिक्स हमारी ज़िंदगी में बहुत अंदर तक गई हुई है. वाइल यू डोंट जनरली, यू नो, मिडिल क्लास India generally wants to imagine that politics is other people and we have to be the workhorse, और हमको एक ज़िंदगी अपनी नॉर्मल सरकारी नौकरी या फिर IIT या IIM या ऐसे करके फिर सॉफ्टवेयर, और फिर यहाँ से we have to get out of the India that is this India which is around us. We can't change it. But in UP it was a daily thing that you could see the system around you and you could see the hacks to the system. Like वो बिजली के 4 फेज थे वहाँ पे, जो हमारे घर में हमारे मोहल्ले में 4 फेज आते थे. अब हर फेज पे, किसी फेज पे 5 घर हैं, किसी फेज पे 8 घर हैं, किसी फेज पे 12 घर हैं. तो जिस फेज पे 5 घर हैं, आप चाहते थे कि आप उस पे अपना कनेक्शन चेंज करवा लें एक बोतल देकर बिजली विभाग के इंसान को, और तो आपकी बिजली कम जाएगी, क्योंकि वो ट्रांसफार्मर पे लोड किस फेज का है. आई एम बीइंग स्लाइटली टेक्निकल हियर. तो फिर अचानक से जिस पे 12 थे वो सारे 5 वाले पे आ गए, इस पे 12 हो गए, उस पे 5
I
हो
know
गए.
you were an engineer.
फिर इधर से वापस हम उधर, तो हम लोग हर 2 हफ्ते पे बोतल देकर फेज ही चेंज कराते रहते थे. That's like, and then you have to see the humor in it, otherwise you'll feel like, okay, you are just, you have gone crazy, you know. So that was the initial, you know, foundation for seeing humor in things. The second was I was an obese kid, and I was bullied a lot in school, and bullied and kind of, you know, outcast kind. मेरे को खिलाते नहीं थे किसी भी स्पोर्ट में, कोई भी चीज़ में, किसी भी ग्रुप का हिस्सा नहीं था. एंड देन आई सॉ दिस फिल्म, इट साउंड्स क्रेजी बट आई सॉ राज कपूर फिल्म मेरा नाम जोकर, वेयर दिस किड, obese kid, played by Rishi Kapoor in the film, and he counters bullying by making fun of himself, and he becomes the Joker. And I figured Joker has a certain kind of immunity in the society. Joker can talk back, answer back, and also still be seen as harmless in a way.
Used to have immunity.
I-
Jokers
as-
used to have immunity.
Yeah,
as
used
an
to
outsider.
have. Yeah, exactly.
But
Now
anyway.
jokers are the first in line for, you know, anything like, अभी जोकर्स को सबसे पहले पकड़ते हैं. तो कुछ भी अजीब अजीब चीज़ें हो रही है. वही इसलिए मैंने सोचा था मैं यहाँ पे ज़्यादा पॉलिटिकल बातें नहीं करूँगा, क्योंकि मैं किसी और के यूट्यूब व्यूज़ के लिए जेल नहीं जाना चाहता. मैं अपने चैनल पे जोक्स बना के जा सकता हूँ. मैं ये नहीं चाहता कि इग्निशन के व्यूज़ बढ़ें और मैं जेल में हूँ. तो वो
सब
नहीं
लोग
होना
जो आ
चाहिए.
रहे हैं, राम माधव doesn't want to raise our TRPs. You don't want to
Oh.
raise our TRP. That's
नहीं
terrible.
नहीं,
but-
हाँ नहीं, वो अच्छा वो भी डर रहे हैं. वो किससे डर रहे हैं? समझा नहीं. अच्छा मैं डर रहा हूँ मैं. हाँ बट हाँ, तो
But
ये
anyway,
दो
yeah.
फाउंडेशन थे, बुलिंग
So
एंड
coming-
ग्रोइंग अप इन यूपी, एंड देन जस्ट द सेंस ऑफ ह्यूमर ऑफ प्लेसेस लाइक लखनऊ, कानपुर, इलाहाबाद, बनारस, जहाँ मेरा काफ़ी जीवन बीता. आई वेंट टू कॉलेज इन बनारस, BHU, IIT BHU, एंड देयर इज दैट सेंस ऑफ humor, dialect, language. And then just artistic, foundations of Lucknow, the kind of theater, the kind of music, the kind language, love for language.
You know, this love for language, you said this bullying that you went through, not just for being fat, but the fact that you were not adept at English. I read somewhere, again on the internet, you can't trust everything, but was it that you were, even in school, asked to read out an English classical poem, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, and you were mocked for that? So just share that incident, because I think it makes us all more mindful of how we treat others. But, and then how it all culminated to you being this comedian, you know.
जी हाँ, तो एक और बुलिंग का एक और कारण ये था कि मैं पंजाबी घर में पैदा हुआ. इनिशियली अस वर इन हिमाचल एंड देहरादून, वेयर अगेन वी वर लिविंग इन अ बिट ऑफ अ पंजाबी कम्युनिटी. मेरे को हिंदी आती थी, लेकिन अंग्रेज़ी बिल्कुल कभी ध्यान भी नहीं दिया कि सीखनी चाहिए या पता होना चाहिए कि अंग्रेज़ी में कैसे बोलते हैं. और व्हेन आई मूव टू लखनऊ, Lucknow was slightly more, I would say, posh than Dehradun and Sundarnagar in Himachal. और वहाँ पे मेरे जो अंग्रेज़ी के टीचर थे, वो ही, बाकी बच्चे तो क्या मजाक उड़ाएंगे, अंग्रेज़ी के टीचर मेरा मजाक उड़ाते थे. मुझे क्लास में खड़ा करके बोलते थे फुटबॉल बोल के दिखाओ, तो मैं बोलता था फुटबॉल इन अ वेरी पंजाबी एक्सेंट, एंड ही वुड लाफ एट मी, एंड देन टेकिंग द क्यू एवरीवन वुड लाफ एट मी इन द क्लास. एंड इट वॉज वेरी ह्यूमिलिएटिंग फॉर मी कि ये तो अपनी भाषा भी नहीं है. मेरी भाषा, अगर पंजाबी, मैं अगर आपको बोलूँ पंजाबी में आप बोल के दिखाओ कितने जा रहा है ना, वो नहीं बोल पाएंगे. बट ही हैड दैट पावर डायनामिक ओवर मी, एंड इट वॉज क्वाइट हर्टफुल एट दैट टाइम. एंड देन वन डे ही जस्ट आस्क्ड द क्लास, सैमुअल टेलर कॉलरिज की वो लंबी सी कविता थी, द राइम ऑफ द एंशिएंट मैरिनर, जो मुझे नहीं पता कि हम लोग बहुत सारी चीज़ों पे बात कर रहे हैं कि हिस्ट्री बदलनी चाहिए. ये कविता बदलो सबसे पहले मेरे हिसाब से. हम क्यों पढ़ रहे हैं, एक कोई यात्री है जो गया है, उसको एल्बेट्रॉस पक्षी होता है, ये हमको उसमें बताया गया, मुझे 8वीं क्लास में बताया गया. मैंने आज तक नहीं देखी उसकी शक्ल कि क्या होता है कि मिथिकल है कि असली में होता है, मुझे ये भी नहीं पता है. बट उस पक्षी की वजह से उस टीचर ने मुझ पर कमेंट मारा कि मुझे बोला गया कि वो पोएम, उन्होंने बोला कि कौन याद करके आएगा, बहुत लंबी कविता थी, उन्होंने बोला 2 पेज कौन याद करके आएगा, इसके शुरू के 4 वर्सेस या 6 वर्सेस. तो मैंने हाथ खड़ा कर दिया, बिकॉज आई वॉज फीलिंग लाइक आई हैव टू प्रूव माई सेल्फ दैट आई नो इंग्लिश. और मैंने हाथ खड़ा किया तो उन्होंने कहा, अरे तू तो फुटबॉल भी नहीं बोल पाता है, तू ये पोएम याद करके आएगा. और अभी ये मुझे हाल ही में पता चला है कि पोएम नहीं बोलते हैं, पोम बोलते हैं शायद, है ना, कुछ ऐसा है. मैंने 2-4 जगह देखा, मुझे लगा इन लोगों को ठीक नहीं आती अंग्रेज़ी, फिर मुझे लगा कि नहीं, शायद मुझे नहीं आती. लेकिन आप पोएम, हम तो पोएम ही बोलते हैं.
मैं भी पोएम ही बोलती हूँ.
हाँ, हम लोग, हाँ वो ठीक है. मैरिनर, अब एल्बेट्रॉस भी हमारी ज़िंदगी से अभी तक नहीं गया है, बट मैं सीख के आया. मैं पूरी वो कविता पूरी की पूरी मैंने याद की. इट वाज स्टिल एन
18 पन्ने की
abridged version in our book, but still it was probably, I think, yeah, it was still a 10 or 12 page poem. The original is probably a much long, महाकाव्य है उनका वो सैमुअल टेलर का. और जब लिखा होगा उन्होंने, उनको नहीं पता होगा कि एक दिन एक पंजाबी बच्चे की क्लास में हंसी उड़ाई जाएगी इसकी वजह से. बट खैर मैं याद करके आया, एंड आफ्टर दैट द टीचर काइंड ऑफ चेंज. सो इट स्टिल, it's not a happy ending according to me. It's still like something you have to prove yourself beyond a certain standard to get accepted by a teacher, just because you don't know a certain language. And that too, I mean, ठीक है ना, सीख लेंगे और नहीं सीखेंगे तो क्या हुआ ऐसा. But yeah, that was.
So I just want to stay with, you know, as we just said, there's so many aspects to your creative work, but if we just stick with the comedy for now, that through all the laughter you create, some of it dangerous, some of it not, beneath that there's a particular worldview that the comedy stands for, you know. Could you share that with us? So you've told us how it began from being the underdog, but what is the worldview that you're pushing through your comedy?
जी, तो ये मुझे भी धीरे धीरे ही समझ में आया कॉमेडी करते करते. शुरू में मुझे, जब सबसे पहले मैंने कॉमेडी देखी टीवी पे, 31 दिसंबर 1997 को पहला एपिसोड आया था मूवर्स एंड शेकर्स का. तो शेखर सुमन वॉज ऑन टीवी, and doing this first late night show for India, and it was, I think, kind of based on Jay Leno and other shows in America, Saturday Night Live and all. And I saw him making fun of politicians and these powerful figures of those times, right? From the prime ministers and opposition leaders, and there were so many leaders around at that time, jo bhi us samay ke chief ministers. And it felt strangely powerful to me, empowering to me, कि हाँ, अच्छा ये कोई इंसान है जो इन लोगों का मजाक उड़ा रहा है और हंसी में वो बातें काफ़ी सारी जो उस समय मेरी ज़िंदगी के इशू थे, बिजली है, करप्शन है, जो छोटी मोटी चीज़ें हम लोग आसपास देखते थे, या हमारे दिमाग में उस समय जो भी पॉलिटिक्स की एक समझ थी उसको लेकर, ही वॉज काइंड ऑफ मेकिंग क्रिटिकल कॉमेंट्स, एंड it felt empowering. And then at that time I just thought it's fun. But जब मैं कॉलेज पहुंचा, फिर कॉलेज पहुंचकर मैंने सटायर लिखना शुरू किया. I was in, as I said, I was in BHU. और सटायर लिखना शुरू किया तो मुझे समझ आया कि वो पावर कहाँ से आती है. ह्यूमर में पावर आती है if you are talking to someone in power, and there's this power dynamic, so you're punching up, which is the basics of comedy. You have to punch up, and what is punching up? Basically you are making jokes of people who have a choice and who have made the conscious choice, and you can talk about the choice. As a comedian you cannot, and I mean people do that, you should not, I feel, punch down. And punch down is basically making fun of things people don't have a choice in. So the complexion, skin complexion, or obesity, or the religion they are born in, or the family, or the caste, or whatever. There are so many indicators where we don't have a choice. We are there and we are born into it, or whatever, or life has thrown us into that. तो वो मुझे धीरे धीरे जब सटायर लिखना शुरू किया, मुझे वो लगा कि अच्छा लोग क्यों इसको पसंद कर रहे हैं. और फिर जब मैंने यहाँ आके मुंबई आके कॉमेडी लिखना शुरू किया, आई फिगर्ड इट कनेक्ट्स विद पीपल. comedy, how, or satire specifically, or humor, which is our stand-up comedy world, connects with people because everyone is angry or dejected or somehow frustrated with the system, and there are so many systems that control us. It could be our family, patriarchy, it could be the government, it could be whatever, the social morality which controls us. And the moment you give voice to that, it connects with people in the same way it connected with me as that, whatever 16-year-old boy. It empowers me that yes, this system which feels like all encompassing, this system which feels like super powerful and all controlling, still there is a small needle. It won't, bring the castle down, but I can probably, like a Shawshank Redemption guy, like slowly, थोड़ा थोड़ा करके मैं उसमें से दीवार में एक छोटा सा छेद बनाऊंगा जिससे एक रोशनी की किरण आएगी. And I'll be like, okay, I'm this powerful. I'm also powerful in a very small manner, but I have that, and I'm doing it non-violently. I'm doing it politely. I'm doing it in the most whatever respected whatever language, respectful language. और ठीक है, अब उसके बाद भी of course people are getting angry, and that is now the space is shrinking for the language and for any kind of dissent.
So Varun, I just realized we had made a very short film which evokes the world of Varun for us, and we didn't get to play it because I was just bringing him onto stage. So Varun, I do want to play that. It's a tribute to your work, and then we'll come back to discussing it. I'll just ask the console to play it.
Okay, thank you. That will be very awkward, but let's see. Okay. Thank you. I think your team, whoever, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, quite overwhelming. Thank you.
I'm glad we've overwhelmed you. But just a little more about the comedy, Varun, before we move to that lovely range of work. That it has become precarious to be comic now. So do you have lines? It's the same question I've been asking, that whether people are upset, or they feel threatened by LGBTQ, they feel threatened by this or that. So obviously not in terms of just government and power equations, but this constant ki our sentiment is hurt. Do you have any internal framework for what is a good joke and what is not?
Yeah, and I mean it's a framework. I have to almost like वो दुकानदार होते हैं ना जो रोज शाम को बैठ के हिसाब लगाते हैं कि आज कितना प्रॉफिट लॉस हुआ।
आप सिंधी तो है नहीं,
छोटी
अच्छा,
दुकान जो
पंजाबी
होती
है।
छोटी दुकान होती ना जो अपने वो परचून की, वो बैठ के हर रोज लगाते हैं कितना। मैं हर रोज न्यूज़ देख के हिसाब लगाता हूँ कल क्या बोलना है क्या नहीं बोल सकते हैं। देर इज because it's shifting on a daily basis, this whole um, hurt hurt sentiments industry, that there's वो हर रोज नए रेगुलेशन लेके आते हैं कि इस पे नहीं बात कर सकते, इस तरह से नहीं कर सकते, यहाँ पे नहीं कर सकते। तो there is this constant whatever calculation going on in my mind even when I'm on stage. So when I'm on stage I'm performing and there is a particular joke which doesn't work on stage, I know why it didn't work. Okay, so immediately I kind of shift the next few jokes into something else, mold it, drop a name. Sometimes it works in a certain way. Then, so it's a constant calculation. But the thing is, broadly speaking, as a comedian and as an artist, it is part of my job to negotiate the world, to put my argument in a way that it's not shot down without even being engaged with. So that's the job. That's exactly the job description. Humor and whatever whatever argument I make, वो बाद में है। आर्ग्यूमेंट की तमीज़ क्या है, जो एक मतलब अंदाज़े बयां क्या है, बयान क्या है, वो ठीक है। बयान काफ़ी सिंपल होता है आज की तारीख में क्योंकि इतनी सारी बाइनरीज हो गई, बड़ा आसान है कुछ भी बोलना। यू जस्ट से something about the government, anti-establishment, immediately it is bought by a certain set of people and immediately it is
Not.
whatever, hated by a certain set of people. But then as an artist, my job is to not do the easy arguments. My job is to create a dialogue between these two sets of people. And for that, I need to have a language which is not plain black and white. The language has to be, first of all, it has to have the signs of humor, and there's a proper biology behind humor. Okay, when I crack a joke, the surprise element hits you first. Like in this one, like we just saw, कि मैं अगले 5 साल ये सोच के हंस सकता हूँ। जब मैंने यहाँ बोला अगले 5 साल में ये सोच के हंस सकता हूँ, there is always already a picture in your mind. The statement is there. क्या सोच के हंस सकता हूँ? Now people are waiting for that line, that phrase. The moment it comes, it's a surprise. Okay, it could have been anything on this planet, but it comes as वो अयोध्या हार गए. The moment I say that, there is a surprise even for people who don't,
Agree with that.
agree with that or agree with that, whatever, or are actually really hurt by that. And they don't think it's funny or there should be jokes on this. But the surprise hits them first, and the biological response of any surprise in our life, even among cats and dogs, the moment they topple accidentally, they have this embarrassed reaction. And that embarrassment, immediately you have to hide the embarrassment because we are social animals and you are always like, people are watching me. You can't be embarrassed in front of the world. It's a sign of weakness in our biology, evolutionary biology. Immediately we think, oh, we have to laugh. And laughter kind of hides the embarrassment, but laughter creates a small window in your brain, and then my argument goes through. And then the argument or the story behind the joke goes through, and then your shield is down, and then you become a more agreeable person for that moment. And when it happens in a room where there is a comedy performance happening, let's say this room right now I think has 300, 400, 500 people. So in a room there are 400 people, let's say in a decent scenario, 70% people they know what they are going for. 30% people, they don't know what they are going for. And these are mostly people who are really entrenched in their views. And they have been sent mostly by their kids who don't believe in the same ideology. And they send their parents a lot of times the kids send their parents to my shows by buying, वो बच्चे हैं कहीं बैंगलोर में या अमेरिका में काम कर रहे हैं, वहाँ से वो टिकट भेज के दे देते हैं कि जाओ अपने आप देख के आओ। उनको लगता है कि जो काम वो नहीं कर पाए पूरी ज़िंदगी अपने माँ बाप को सुधारने का, बदलने का, मैं करूँगा अपने शो में, तो वो सोचते हैं कि 1000 रुपये में माँ बाप सुधर जाएंगे, तो अच्छा तरीका है, तो वो आ जाते हैं। ऐसे बहुत सारे लोग आते हैं। So for them, even if the argument doesn't go through, even if they hate the show, the thing is they get to see there are these they are in minority suddenly in a room where we are talking politics, which has never happened in their life till now. Till now, they have always been in majority in every room, everywhere they are talking politics, they are talking whatever current affairs. And that is also a perspective shift. And that is also how comedy works. So for me, it's a very important job I'm doing. And that's why, for me, the language is very important. That's why the nuances of the language are very important. And I work like very minutely on them. And I don't want anything to be misinterpreted. Of course, there is bad faith interpretation, and people will always do that. But if something is misinterpreted because of my lazy writing, that's like, then yeah, I mean, then yeah, I'm ready to whatever go to jail, metaphorically.
Metaphorically.
Not literally, yes.
That's a beautiful description of comedy and the biology of comedy, like you said. Thank you for that, Varun. You mentioned cats. We are going to just bifurcate for a moment. Cats are your absolute passion, you know. So tell us a little about why you love cats. What do they teach you? And I'm asking the second question so that your subconscious mind can come up with a good answer. I was going to ask you that, given that comedy is in danger, if you were to give a Shah Rukh Khan level courtroom defense of comedy, what would you say? You know, come up with a beautiful defense of comedy.
Oh, God. Okay. I don't.
While you're telling us about
where
cats.
Where did Shah Rukh Khan give a courtroom defense of anything? In any film? No. Or are you saying the 70-minute speech, kind of that inspirational speech? I'm just asking why Shah Rukh. I love Shah Rukh. But
why? Just because it'll be that theatrical
okay.
defense of something.
Okay. Acha, about cats, let's take the easier one first. Cats, I think they are. I was surprised again to discover cats, because growing up in North India, cats have this very bad
I
image.
just want to tell the audience this is not a casual question. It is the big passion of his life, you know. So it's going to give us insight into Varun.
तो मेरा growing up in North India, you just believe cats are the most evil animals, and they चोरी करती हैं और मलाई चुराती हैं.
बैड लक लाता है.
हाँ, और मलाई का बहुत डर, खासकर पंजाबियों को बहुत मलाई बहुत पसंद है, तो उनको लगता है कि यही साला एक ही चीज़ तो है ढंग की खाने की, वही बिल्लियाँ खा जा रही हैं, तो इसलिए वो शायद बिल्लियों से थोड़ा घबराते हैं. लेकिन जब when I moved to Mumbai and then I started seeing cats on street, and this is again one of my random theories, but any city, if you want to know how compassionate a city is, just see how many cats are there on the streets. There are none in NCR, okay. So, but in Mumbai there are lots. And then I started seeing cats around, then we got one, rescued one, and then I started observing them. And the thing with cats is they are very much like artists. They are very proud. They have a very set kind of preferences, and they are quite moody, eccentric, and all. And the thing is, they are always a picture of grace. Even if they are sleeping, even if they are walking, just idhar se udhar ja rahi hain, they always very,
poised.
And agenda driven. कि वो जा रही हैं, तो they are not like, ऐसा नहीं है कि वो टहल रही हैं, वो टहल नहीं रही हैं, वो जा रही हैं किसी पर्पस से, और वो पर्पस आपको नहीं पता है, लेकिन वो पर्पस भले ही जाके वो एक कोने में कोई नया डब्बा आया है, अमेज़ॉन का बॉक्स आया है, उसमें उसको बैठना है या उसको टच करना है, उसको स्मेल करना है, whatever. They always have this very sure-footed kind of which is how cats walk also, very thing about them, and that energy is very calming for someone who is also kind of trying to make a life in creativity and all. तो वो है. दूसरा है, just from a science perspective, it's amazing you get to live with aliens almost, right? They are aliens. I mean, they could be a planet just consisting of cats. There could be another planet where life evolved only to be
A cat.
cats. Yeah, and there are no humans. So every animal is a different planet on in itself, in themselves, and living.
And you said about a power structure that the cat always has the upper hand.
Yeah, and cats have this thing. They are very consent driven. No cats will ever, even groom another cat without the consent. So there are lots of things to learn if you want to learn. But even if you don't want to learn, that's like a work of art no painter could ever make, like right in front of you in your house, always moving around, always there for you to watch and appreciate. And sometimes if they allow touch, and if they are really really whatever happy with you that day, they can come sit on your lap, and then you feel like, okay, your life is set. So yeah, I'm very emotional about cats.
Okay.
So-
So the same defense you've given for cat, you've actually already explained comedy, and I want to quickly move to your other work. But really, because this idea of comedy in a society, and you've actually explained many facets of it. But like I said, we're an audience hungry for your good lines. So give us some fantastic defense of comedy in a society like ours.
matlab, I know it's strange that defending comedy feels like defending food. Like, right? If someone says, okay, come and give a defense of Chola Bhatura and why people should not hate Chola Bhatura, why people should not arrest people who make, Chola Bhatura or whatever, replace it with your favorite food item. It's an argument. Generally, I mean, people need this argument only if they are already coming in with bad faith. But still, I will, because I live a life on good faith terms every time, no matter how many times this particular person has kind of cheated me or taken me for a ride. I will always, if they come afresh on a new day and say, okay, we are so good faith argument for comedy. So comedy. Generally evolved in humans. In fact, this comes from another doctor, Dr. Amrish Satwik, who is
Yeah.
probably. He's a writer also, but he's a doctor. And I think he read it in a book, but we were talking about it. So how in animals, a lot of animals, when they fight, they have this growling matches, like cats do, dogs do. It evolved evolutionarily to actually stop an actual fight from happening. So you kind of just
Growl it out.
growl it out and let out the steam. In humans, humor, satire, sarcastic remarks evolved as that solution
Safety
for
valve.
not creating a full-fledged fight every time you go out and you say, okay, let's have a duel. And there was some American president or someone killed in a duel. If only they had a sense of humor. Hamilton would have been not, he wouldn't have died that way. But humor is the safety valve for our emotions. Forget democracy and all. There are many, many big ideas which I feel comedy helps in that also. But just as human emotions, we feel angry about something, we use words. We use, okay, sometimes impolite words, sometimes polite words, but the definition is always changing, so we don't know what is what. But definitely, I think no comedian in India, at least till now, has used words more impolite than most of the politicians. So I think that's fine. It's simply words talking about our anger, frustration with any system, as I said, any system which controls us. And we are not even saying, okay, we will burn down the system. We are just saying, this system is leaking from this particular place, and I'm making a joke on this particular leak. Haha, you say haha, I say haha, go home. That's all. I'm not raising, मैं क्रांति नहीं कर रहा हूँ. मैं नहीं बोल रहा हूँ कि आओ भैया ऐसा है कि मेरा जोक पसंद आया तो चलो आप बिजली विभाग चलते हैं, दफ्तर जला देते हैं. ये नहीं हम बोल रहे हैं. हम बोल रहे हैं बिजली विभाग पे हम ये जोक करेंगे, हम बोल रहे हैं हम ये मिनिस्टर पे, प्रधानमंत्री पे, ऑपोजिशन लीडर, सीएम जो भी हैं, जितने भी हैं, उन्होंने ये चॉइस ली है जिंदगी में ये काम करने की, और ये काम वो मेरे हिसाब से इस मामले में ठीक नहीं कर रहे हैं। मैं बता रहा हूँ, ये चीज़ हमेशा से रही है अक्रॉस, इवन इन oligarchies, इवन इन जो भी क्या
No, and
राजा
in
रजवाड़े,
fact, even in our own
हमारे
past,
सिस्टम में,
since we
हाँ,
refer to the
हमारे यहाँ पे
past,
विदूषक नाम की एक जो प्रॉपर एक विदूषक नाम की एक पोस्ट होती थी, जिसमें कि विदूषक को रखा जाता था दरबार में कि राजा से आप थोड़ा सा हंसी मजाक में, वो बीरबल हो, वो तेनालीरामा हो, वो कई सारे नाम हमारे पास, शेख चिल्ली हैं, ऐसे कई सारे हैं जो कहानियों के जरिए राजा को बताते थे कि सर आपसे थोड़ी मतलब कुछ
दिमाग
गलती हो
खिसक
गई
रहा
है,
है, हाँ।
और मैं आपको बस कहानी के जरिए बता रहा हूँ। आपको अगर बहुत बुरा लगे तो कहानी मान लेना, थोड़ा सा सही लगे तो उसको ठीक करवा देना, बहुत अच्छा लगे मेरी बात तो पैसे दे देना, इतना ही था। ये 3। जिस दिन आपका जो बीरबल का अगर सर काट के लटका दिया जाता वहां पे बाहर, है ना, दरबार के बाहर, तो समझ आ जाती कि ठीक है अब नहीं चाहिए। अभी हम उस स्टेज के थोड़ा नजदीक पहुंचे हैं जहां पे जो है सिर नहीं लटकाया गया है, उंगली काट दी गई है, ये बोला गया है कि देखो थोड़ा सा ऐसा है, तुम लोग अभी अपनी ये जो हरकतें हैं विदूषक पंथी, इसको कम करो क्योंकि अभी हमको नहीं सुनना है। सो दैट, आई थिंक दैट इज व्हाट इज हैपनिंग, बट आई एम जस्ट सेइंग अगेन फ्रॉम द एंटायर कॉमेडी कम्युनिटी, आइदर some of us, in fact most of the comedians, are saying nothing. Some of us are trying to say something, but we are just saying, that's all. We are just saying, and that's all we are saying, not for you. We are not even talking to you.
Yeah.
We are talking to people who are on the same page, who are as frustrated with some of the things in the system as I am, and we are just talking to each other. You have every right to not listen to us, but don't like shut down venues, don't break down venues, don't put people in jail, and all of that on bad faith. And
Yeah,
that's,
I think the most beautiful metaphor you used was that कि एक रोशनी आ जाता है. You know, it's just that one bit of light, and it makes you. You said something very beautiful. You said it opens the space for a little insight to come.
yeah,
You
we
know,
are
it's
doing
just
it
that,
for our
but-
own breathing issues, that's all. We are
Breathing
not
issues.
doing it for to strangle you
Dismantle.
or something. We are doing it just so we feel better at night. कि ये चीज़ बड़ी परेशान कर रही थी, मैं बोल दिया मैंने। अगर मान लो आप किसी को चोट लग जाए, ठीक है, कोई उंगली कट जाए उसकी या कुछ हो जाए, अगर वो किसी को बोल भी ना पाए पूरे दिन में कि यार बड़ा दर्द हो रहा है, कितना उसको रात को बुरा, वो किसी को उसकी पट्टी मुंह पे, एक तो चोट लगी है उसके मुंह पे पट्टी बांधी जो तो किसी को बोलेगा नहीं कि चोट, ये भी नहीं कि किसने मारा है, बस लगी है, मैं इतना ही बोलना चाहता हूँ, ये भी इतना तो बोलने दो, बस मैं इतना ही चाहता हूँ। तो यही है कॉमेडी मेरे ख्याल से।
So, I'm just going to quickly look at the time. We are really running out of time, Varun. We haven't even begun looking at your entire canvas of work. I want to ask you just 1 or 2 more questions, which is about your screenwriting, your scripts, even your lyrics, but the screenwriting in particular. So one side of you is satiric, hilarious, funny, humorous, but like we were just discussing, there's a worldview beneath it. So similarly in your screenplay and the scripts you write, what is the emotions that really interest you? You know, what do you think of yourself as an artist? What is it you're trying to do?
So for me, the stories of contemporary India are really, I mean, they are really important and they really speak to me, and I want to write stories, write screenplays which depict or try to understand the India of today and the youth of today. Like Masan was one film which was my first film as a screenwriter, and Masan talked about just people in a city like Banaras wanting a slightly bigger world, wanting to get free from the shackles of patriarchy and caste oppression. And it was kind of coming together of these two characters, Richa Chadda and Vicky Kaushal's character, one kind of struggling with the morality and one struggling with the caste system which have been imposed on them. And similarly, going forward, recently Superboys of Malegaon, which is again about aspirations of a really small industrial town in Maharashtra, Malegaon, and how a bunch of people kind of came together and made something of their life through the dream of cinema. So these are the stories which resonate with me, which try to just understand the world around us in today's times. I'm very, because I know कि मुझे अपने समय को समझने में और उस पे बात करने में ही एक थोड़ी सी जो भी एक्सपर्टीज़ है, मैं बाहर की कहीं की वो दुनिया में नहीं बता सकता जो मैंने देखी नहीं है, मैं इमेजिन नहीं कर सकता दुनिया, मैं पढ़ के और वहाँ रह के जी के ही समझ सकता हूँ. एंड दैट्स द स्टोरी, दीज आर द स्टोरीज आई वांट टू राइट.
So, you know, just this idea of the artist, and here again, you know, it's a cliched question, but it has such an important function. And each one can have a different idea of what it is, but I want to know yours. That you've said, yes, you want to interpret society around you, stories around you, but the actual idea of an artist, what do you think your entire body of work is trying to do? Is it Actually, let me ask you to explain something. Varun just, this is the last question, said very beautifully that he said the esoteric idea of being a human, that's what my art tries to do. So can you explain what you meant by that?
Yes, so I think art also evolved that way, and I'm just continuing the tradition, which is basically why do we need art? And that's a question I keep, I keep getting from people, a lot of people, and specifically people ask कि poetry का क्या मतलब है और poetry क्यों है और poetry की क्या ज़रूरत है दुनिया में. पोइट्री की ज़रूरत या किसी भी आर्ट की ज़रूरत, पोइट्री हो, सिनेमा हो, पेंटिंग्स हो, म्यूज़िक हो, मुझे लगता है इन सब की ज़रूरत इसलिए है क्योंकि ये हमको बताती हैं कि हम अकेले नहीं हैं. एंड आई थिंक लोनलीनेस इज़ द बिगेस्ट fear of humans, and that's why initially, I mean, when we were like roaming around, early Homo sapiens, and then we became small clans and tribes and then kingdoms, and then slowly evolved into the new civilization and democracies and whatever. But loneliness is the biggest human fear, and it's our deepest fear. It's there was a beautiful English word, I forgot, मैंने किसी ज़माने में याद किया था GRE के लिए, मैं अभी भूल गया. जो होता है कि वो जो ऐसी कोई हमारी आशाएं, भावनाएं जो हमको आदि मानव से मिली हैं. सो देयर इज अ टर्म फॉर दैट, आई फॉरगॉट. बट मुझे लगता है कि लोनलीनेस और आर्ट का वही डायरेक्ट रिलेशनशिप है. व्हेन यू रीड अ पोएम, व्हेन यू लिसन टू अ सॉन्ग, गाना लिखा था मान लीजिए साहिर लुधियानवी ने, ये दुनिया अगर मिल भी जाए तो क्या है. कब लिखा था उन्होंने, किस लिए लिखा, उन्होंने किस वजह से लिखा होगा, किस हमको नहीं पता है. लेकिन आज अगर कोई इंसान है जो उसी मुश्किल से गुजर रहा है और वो गाना सुनता है तो उसको लगता है हाँ मैं अकेला नहीं हूँ. ये बात तो साहिर साहब ने लिखी है, ये बात तो मोहम्मद रफ़ी ने गाई है, ये बात तो गुरुदत्त ने भी फिल्म में दिखाई है. So you feel connected to the world, and that's all we need. We need connection. We need this thing, that assurance from the world that we belong here. And that's why I think that's what all the politics is right now. Where do you belong? Who belongs where? If you are in this tribe, you are probably safe. वो जो एक हैं तो safe है, और इस तरह के जो नारे चल रहे हैं, everything is actually pointing to the same thing, that we need connection and we need to be together, and art provides that connection without sometimes an actual connection. You feel connected to cinema, for example. You buy a ticket, you know you're going to watch something completely fake, you know it. आपको पता है, आपने ट्रेलर देखे 1.5 महीने से, आपने टिकट खरीदी, आप फिल्म शुरू हुई, उन्होंने बताया कि हमने बनाई है, उन्होंने बोला ये प्रोड्यूसर है, ये डायरेक्टर है, ये एक्टर है शाहरुख खान, इन्होंने ये फिल्म में जैसे ही वो शुरू होती है कबीर खान का रोल करें, है शाहरुख खान, हमको पता है. एंड स्टिल when he's thrown out of that mohalla, we feel bad. It took us 15 minutes to consciously forget that we are watching a work of complete fiction, which is actually asking us to pay because it is fiction. असली लाइफ हमको नहीं असली लाइफ देखने के पैसे नहीं लगते हैं एक्चुअली. आप सड़क पे जो हम लोग देखते रहते हैं JCB, वो फ्री है. लेकिन फिल्म हमको देखने के लिए पैसे लगते हैं और उसके बावजूद हम 15 मिनट में भूल जाते हैं, उसके बाद हम रोते हैं, उसके बाद हम लोग हंसते हैं, उसके बाद हम लोग कई दिनों तक वो पेन या वो खुशी याद रखते हैं. दैट इज द पावर ऑफ आर्ट, बट दैट इज द पावर of our loneliness which makes it happen. We want it to happen. Otherwise, it's all fake. It's all make believe. They make, but we believe, and I think that's why art sustains.
Beautiful. That's an absolutely beautiful note to end on. Thank you
you.
very, very much. Thank you, everybody. This was absolutely wonderful, Varun. We didn't set you up for laughs, but something deeper came through. Thank you so much. Thank you very much.